All right, let's get to Dan Zielinski here, and let's get to some names here. Dan, we know about the first 3 picks yesterday. The outfielder, Ray, Urseg, the third baseman, and the catcher, Feliciano. But what happened after that? Who are these guys?
Well, with their first 3 picks on day 2, they took 3 college arms. The first one was Braden Webb, a right-handed pitcher from South Carolina. He's a rare draft-eligible freshman after being considered an early-round selection in 2014 coming out of high school. He suffered Tommy John and sat out all last year. Came back this year in his freshman year at South Carolina, had a good year, good upside, but some people consider him as a reliever. And then
is he that wild thing looking dude?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's got a great fastball, curveball combination. His changeup's a little behind, so that kind of causes some people to believe that he'll be a reliever in pro ball.
Okay.
And then in the 4th round, with the 111th pick, the Brewers took Corbin Burns, a right-hand pitcher from St. Mary's. He's a guy who I thought the Brewers might take on day 1, maybe with that competitive balance pick at the end of round 2. He's 6'3", 205 pounds. He was the ace of St. Mary's staff this year. Throws his fastball in the mid-90s and also has a good slider and changeup. All are at least above average offerings. He's a guy who is projected to be a middle-of-the-rotation kind of starter in the big leagues. Obviously, there's a little bit some questions about his delivery. There's some effort to that, but that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, Corbin Burns?
Correct.
That sounds like he's like an ABC newsman. Reporting from Miller Park, I'm Corbin Burns. All right, what else?
And then in the 5th round, they took Zach Brown. This is a guy, he's a right-handed pitcher from Kentucky, a guy who coming into the year was considered probably a late 1st round, maybe 2nd round pick, but he struggled terribly this year at Kentucky. He went 2-11 with a 6.08 ERA in 14 starts for the Wildcats. He has the potential and he has the ability. It's just a matter of being consistent, throwing strikes. He has a fastball that sits in the mid-90s, also with an average curveball and changeup. He's got high potential, and people still believe he could be a starter in pro ball. It's just a matter of getting his delivery corrected and making sure he can be consistent on a regular basis.
And he's got his own band, too. Toes and, chicken fries and Sweet Annie and Highway 20 Ride. I like the Zach Brown band.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Might sell more tickets than this guy from Kentucky, but I guess we'll see.
There you go, post-game concert series next year. There it is. All right, well, we'll go. Do you have time?
Yeah, I do have time.
Let's get a couple more here.
Okay, 6th round. This guy is an interesting player. Peyton Henry, prep catcher from Utah. He's got good size, being 6'2", 215. He's been improving over the last couple of years defensively. Strong arm, moves well behind the plate. He also has above-average raw power with good bat speed, makes consistent contact. He's committed to BYU, but I don't think that college commitment's going to kind of get in the way of professional baseball. He's a guy who's got a high ceiling and figures to stay behind the plate at the next level.
Okay, one more, and then we got to play this moment here.
Sounds good. 7th round pick, Daniel Brown, left-handed pitcher from Mississippi State. He's only 5'9", 183 pounds. He's a guy who transferred to Mississippi State last year after starting his career at JUCO college. He's a guy who's going to be coming out of the bullpen in pro ball. That's where he was at Mississippi State. He's got a good fastball and slider, but a below-average changeup, which kind of pushes him to the bullpen. And then their last couple picks were both, besides a prep shortstop, were kind of guys who were seniors at the college level, so I'm assuming kind of easy signs. Hopefully sign them below slot to kind of use maybe these college arms they selected early on day number 2.
Okay, did you notice any difference in the pattern here? Because Stearns was not around a year ago here for the 15 draft. Did you notice any patterns here?
I did. They seemed to want to take that safer option at the college level, whereas last year they were going after, in the year before even, after those guys who were coming out of high school, had a high ceiling, signability, maybe question mark, but they were willing to take that gamble because of the high ceilings. Whereas this year, again, they didn't even take one high school arm, and that's the strength of this year's draft. And there are those guys who were sliding down draft boards, but they choose to go after the college arm instead.
Yeah, studs are studs, whether they're coming out of high school or college.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to me that, the numbers are the numbers. Overall, college players make it to the pros quicker.
Exactly. And with the Brewers being in a rebuilding situation, I'm assuming the Brewers think they're maybe within 3 or 4 years of competing, so they might not want to wait on a high school pitcher to have to develop for 4 years and then bring him up as a rookie when they're trying to compete for a playoff.
That could be our first indication of a timeline.
Exactly.
It really could, guys. I mean, I know what I'd do. Quicker the better, man. Quicker the better. And I think college players, you have a little more clarity. I think there's maybe, risk-reward thing going on with high school guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could find that sleeper and that diamond, and projectability is something. Is this frame gonna blossom? Is he gonna bulk up top? There's a number of things you can predict with or not predict with high school players, but college players a little more clarity there. And I think that the timeline, just a little taste of where the timeline might be at based on these guys. Let's see what happens now from here on out. However, I mean, everybody's in the same realm. It doesn't matter you pick 5th or 15th at this point, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot here from up to the 40th round. There's a lot of guys who are either seniors in college that will be coming off the board, or sometimes teams will also take these high-risk high school players just in case they change their mind and decide they want to sign instead of going to college. I
know they did that last year. With a few players.
They do.
Just to clear up the thought process on that real quick before the break, Dan, is that sometimes a team will draft guys that just have really good talent, but just the signability is almost nil, and they've committed, and it's a decent-sized D1, and they're going to go to school, and if they get drafted down there, the slot money is nothing, but you never know, man, right?
Exactly. You never do know. The one issue is, again, signing bonus. These guys from here on out will be getting at most likely $100,000 unless teams want to go over their spending limit. But if they do that, then there could be potential risks in terms of money fines or even draft picks.
Hold on. Where's the line for $100,000?
It starts now 11 to 40 is a $100,000 signing bonus.
Really? Even down there in the 30s?
Yes.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's decent money.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but for some of these guys who were throwing out $4 million price tags and are still on the board, chances of them signing aren't very good, but there's always, I guess, that possibility.
All right. Are you going to check back with us over the weekend, or what's going on?
Yeah, I can do that if you want. It should be kind of an interesting draft, see kind of the Brewers, if they do go after some high school guys or if they continue to kind of play it safe with the college pitchers or college position players.
Very good. Dan Zielinski, thirdmanin.com, our draft expert here on the Fan Baseball Postgame Show. Dan, good stuff, okay?